All right. Hey, everyone. This is Phil Fornaro, and this is Lightbulb Moments. Now, it's a little different this time. This is the Wise Guy Roundtable, and this is our first live event. And the name of the title is Wise Guy Roundtable. Some of us are brighter than others. We may have a poll at the end of the podcast to find out which ones you think are the brightest. That is right. Come on. See, this was the plan of action was no interruptions during the introduction, and Steve Palmer's already violated it. So it's going to be a lot of that. So anyway, this roundtable, I'm so excited to get on first and foremost because John Rott wouldn't do it other than him coming on with all of us. He won't come on individually, but we got him on, so we were so excited to do it. But it's kind of this evolution as we've gone along. You know, we started off early on, and we have Mr. Phil Fulton in the audience here. He's going to jump in later on. We'll bring him on. But we talked to him first in episode 2, and we sort of grew that. It was more like a localized presence. So initially we had the localized, then we sort of went into the LBM podcast, flash moments where I did every Tuesday, I do this short 15 minutes, 7 minutes, 10-minute podcast where I solo cast and talk about light bulb moments, things that happen to me during the week. And why this is so important for this particular group is they're very inspirational to me. They helped me grow this podcast from the very beginning. Then after we got to this localized sort of concept, we went deeper into it. And now we got national, international clients. We've got publicly traded companies. We had Sean Nelson on today. And that's sort of growing it. Now we're evolved to some video. We had Nick Dubach and Frankie Filick and Kevin Cowley on our video. And now we've sort of progressed to this live. And I know everyone's going to say we made a couple mistakes here along the way, and we're going to make a ton of mistakes today, but that's okay. That's what it's all about here, is learning how to grow this podcast. So, and thanks to Val, we have swag. We have some nice cups here, and we've got our, what is it called? A quarter zip, Val? Yeah, I didn't know what a quarter zip was before. She told me the other day. So we have lots more evolutions to come. You're going to see them, and we're going to grow it. And thank you for everyone that's done all this, all the watching and all the reviews, where our reviews are growing. And today we had downloads, close to 2,100 downloads today. And that's just a testament to all of our great guests. All right, so we didn't set a time limit here at all. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know about an hour in, we're going to take the chat. So we're going to look at the chat. So please, if you're listening to this, I know we have 2 or 3 people listening. Go ahead and call in, or not call in, type in, and we'll pull some questions. We'll screen them, and then we'll talk about them amongst the group. So there's really no rules on how this is going to go. So halfway in, stay with that, and we'll answer your questions. It can be to any one of us. It can be to all of us, whatever you want, and we'll try to take care of that. And at times we will appear angry at each other. And if that happens, don't worry. We'll make up by the time it's over. I promise. Right? By design. All right. So buckle up, everybody. Get your notepad and get ready for some light bulb moments. So
that's an all drink, by the way, with that one.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We've got alcohol. Cheers. Salute.
No, salute.
Cheers. All right. So as I told you guys, and we're going to introduce you individually here in a second, there is an 8-second delay. So, or 7 seconds, 8-second delay. So if you screw up really badly, Alec Rodriguez here, our wonderful production guy, is going to cut you off. He told me he would.
Why are you looking at Jason when you say that?
I say that I look at him a lot. So, and then before we get started and introduce, I want to thank, some very important people here. Valerie Walls, who did an unbelievable job of getting this all coordinated, because it's a tough thing to get together. And Alex Rodriguez, who's doing a great job for Dewire Studios here. Thanks to Nick Dubach here, who we'll talk to in a second, who, gave his space willingly so we can have these types of events and help our bright community out. All right, so let's dive in. Some of our great roundtable. Nick Dubach over here.
Hello, bright community.
Thank you. Mike O'Mara.
Hello, everyone.
Steve Palmer.
Hello.
Jason Kordick.
Hello, everyone.
And John Rott, of course.
The rookie of the bunch.
So, Steve, so everyone's been on the podcast so far, except for John. So you can go back and listen to some of their episodes. A lot of recent ones, and you've seen the evolution of the podcast is how we changed over time. So, all right. So we're going to first start off with when I first met these guys, and started talking about this podcast it's had to be about 2 years ago. And if you listen to Nick's podcast with Frankie Freilich, talks about how our goal always was to be here. So our main goal was, hey, when can we get to the point of a live event? And now we're here. So let's talk a little bit about this, guys. Please tell me a little bit. Is like when I first started this podcast, did you think I was like sort of full of it and this would like dwindle out pretty quickly, or were you comfortable with this with this concept from the beginning?
Well, I think you should be really proud. I mean, I got the feeling at first it was kind of a hobby, maybe, just kind of a personal thing that you had an interest in. But I mean, what you've created and the Bright community is truly amazing, Phil.
Thanks. What do you think, Jason?
I mean, we talked long hours about this, and we were always for it, And the one thing about you is that you do take it to another level. Like you can't do anything half-assed.
Yeah.
Like it's always, full tilt. Let's go. Let's see what we can make out of it, and that is something remarkable to do.
Got it. What about you, Nick Dubach?
Well, I'm pretty sure it started with alcohol.
Yeah.
And
I'll drink to that.
and a few ideas, and for sure, I didn't think you had the deep viewer base that you have. I didn't see it. I didn't even think about it really until it started happening. I'm like, wow, you got really something here with legs, and people listen. And I think I was walking the beach in Florida one day, listening to one of your podcasts.
I remember that.
And then I realized how much Phil doesn't know about my business. and then so he personally inspired me to come on and set the record. So
Yeah.
it was great. No, it was a lot of fun listening to, and really that's when it all started clicking. And he had a client on, I think, that was in the conveyor business and doing some industrial training, and there was some similarities there and synergies, but Phil didn't totally. He was moving so quick. He just kind of articulated like, yeah, Nick does something similar, but not, and you guys need to connect. And then he moved on. But it was a really, really informative podcast. I forget who your guest, what his name was on that one.
Yeah, I got to remember.
He was the conveyor guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to remember now, but I will.
So, but at any rate, didn't mean to put you on the spot. It's been great.
No.
I think that the viewer base is huge. I think it's a lot of local folks that really we interact with around town, and I think it's great to keep it growing and figure out what helps people in their business or personal or professional lives. There's a lot to unpack.
Cool. Thank you. Mike, what do you think, man?
Well, I think it was a bit of a disconnect for me when you brought up the podcast idea, because you and I know each other from a legal standpoint. You
Yeah.
do a lot of work for my firm, and also from a business standpoint. But when I thought about it, it didn't really surprise me. I'm impressed with where it's gone, and I'm impressed at how well you do it.
Thank you. All right. Well, and Steve Palmer is the most prepared of all of us here. So let's see what he has to say. Let's see if it's in his notes.
That is definitely not in my notes, but the concept of light bulb moments is something that's always been in my life, and it's something you have to just look at and figure out. And when I was on your podcast, which is the second most downloaded podcast of all time under light bulb moments, I had many light bulb moments just in our conversations, and it's a cool thing. And so besides the goofiness that we like because we're friends, the fact that you're out there and sharing other people's light bulb moments in different ways. And I mean, I wrote down things because there have been many light bulb moments through this whole thing have touched my life or been a part of my life, where I've tried to make a part of my life because of other people's light bulb moments. And we don't share that enough. So this whole concept, which in the beginning, I thought, what is he doing? And actually, if you listen to the first one, he wasn't good, but he's gotten so much better, and this is so much better. But the light bulb moments, the whole theme, the concept for it is it's right on. It's inspiring, and it's really what we need out there right now. We need people with more light bulb moments and sharing their life story, so we can all learn that, hey, sometimes there's failure, sometimes there's success, and everything else in your life. But we can all learn from each other, and that's what you share every day.
Yeah, and this is why, if you could see why this is getting easier and easier for me, because I have this type of group of people in our Bright community, and this particular group that supports us and gives us ideas, gives us the opportunity to do these things. Can't do these things for our Bright community without these guys. So appreciate all those comments. Alec, why don't we just have somebody out there in our Bright community send a chat, make sure they're listening to it, and make sure that it's clean and people are hearing us. If not, that's okay. We'll have a nice discussion. We did. Okay, good. All right, well, cool. So, as you know, Bright community, we talk a lot about life and business and so forth, but what we really haven't dove in, and I want this particular group to talk a little bit about problem solving. And each one of them has a different tactic in which they, and maybe it'll be somewhat similar, but I'd like to hear from some of them to see how they deal with very difficult situations and how they problem solve on a daily basis. Anybody want to start?
Well, one of your episodes, you had Nancy Cummings on, and this was her topic. It was problem solving, and Nancy had said that problem solving is an art, and I totally agree with that. And it's not everybody's an artist in this situation. But she talked about listening to people and truly trying to make sure that they feel like they're heard. And I found that in my life, especially with dealing with politicians. Politicians are elected people, but they're elected to represent us. Listen to us, hear our side of the story. You might vote a different way, but don't tell me I'm voting because this guy said so. Say, I've listened to everybody, and here's how I made my decision. That's one of those things. And Nancy on her episode really covered a lot of that, and it was very enlightening for a light bulb moments.
Yeah, and it was good to get Nancy on too, because you had a bunch of old white guys, on the podcast at that point in time. So anyway, let's go on. What are you saying, Jason?
So
and by the way, we can disagree with each other on this podcast. So
my problem.
Well, then I'm not sure why we're letting Jason talk right now.
My problem solving has always been taking snapshots in my mind very quickly and doing scenarios of what could happen or couldn't happen, and doing it very quickly, almost as a scan of the situation, and then make a decision that way. So trying to look at what could be the best possibility of the scenario or the worst, and try to maneuver in there to find a way to get out of that situation to solve the problem.
And have you always been able to do that, or?
I think so. Sometimes you get out of it quicker. Sometimes it takes longer, but ultimately, I think that every problem that we all come upon, we can always find a solution to get out of it.
Got it. Yeah, I love that. That's been a core part of light bulb moments is that no matter what problem you have, you can always find a solution, and you have to. I mean, there's a solution to everything. It may not be your happiest solution, but there is a solution. Yeah. All right, John Ryan.
I think one of the keys to problem solving or being a problem solver is willingness. I think there's just some people out there that don't have that trait or aren't willing to take that on. And I think part of leadership or, being a problem solver is that you're willing to actually figure out what the problem is and figure out that there's a solution. So many people just talk about problems, and there's not as many people that are willing to take on the solution part.
So do you think that willingness is something that you can learn, or is that just inherently inside of you?
For me, it was, my light bulb moment started with my father. He was my mentor. He was my hero. I was lucky enough to grow up with a man who never went to school past 8th grade, but built, a great business. And I got to watch that. And so it was just kind of inherently, ingrained in me from him. And, my brother's kind of the same way. And so I think a lot of it was just the way we were raised, the person we had to watch do that.
Got it. Yeah. So, Mike, what about you?
Well, I would say problem solving, it always begins, there's always a lot of emotions involved in a problem. And so the very first thing in my experience starts with being a really good listener, which I've gotten better over the years because of my wife. So being a very good listener, to understanding the feelings that are involved, beginning with an end in mind and coming up with a win-win solution. Because the emotions that get involved in problems typically cloud things up, the rational decision. So sitting back, staying calm, and being a really good listener helps you get to a place where sometimes it can be win-win, not all the time, but that's what I try to do.
Yeah, and listening's core to this podcast as well. But for some people, it's easier than for others. I know with Nick and I, it's probably a little bit difficult. But is that true or not?
We're gonna find out.
All right. But I mean, do you find that you have to train yourself to listen, or is that something that you just knew all along? I mean, these are some things that are inherent.
No, this is all through experiences where I failed to solve problems.
I see.
And then going back to look and say, how did I fail? Again, there's so many emotions that are involved in a problem, and sorting through those and putting those to one side and listening, and then taking the rational problem and trying to address that to get into a win-win, if you can, has been an experience that I've learned through bad mistakes that I've made.
Got it. And not to keep the pressure on here, we had a nice discussion yesterday on the way down, and the way that you sort of prepare for yourself when you get into these problem-solving situations is through, meditation and other things, right?
I do meditation. I journal. I try to keep myself very balanced and very calm and listen to the best I can.
That's cool.
Doesn't always work that way.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a good question on the meditation in a second, but I want to hear what Nick has to say first.
Okay. There's, I guess when you're talking about problem solving, there's people influence problems, and then there's business problems, right? So there's a lot of different problems that we're faced with. You've got business problems, and then you've got people or emotional driven problems. I feel like a lot of us are talking right now about the emotional side of problems people bring to us, or situations that people create in our work lives, maybe personal lives. There's not one problem out there that can't be solved for, that's for sure. I think in my business, we have business problems, and we have operationally, customers call us because they need a problem solved. There's one aspect of that is how do you build something? How do you fix an issue with a process or a production line or an industrial facility? The other is a business problem, right? Whether it's a contract or a disagreement, or where emotion comes into place. So every situation is different. Like I said, every problem has a unique approach. So if it's a person or a people generated problem that's going to get met with maybe some emotion, listening is for sure my stop, listen, digest, and try and act some humility, I think. And usually when you understand where they're coming from, you can get to the bottom of the real problem, because they can't articulate it, and they articulate it with frustration and anger, and it's met with resistance, and some oftentimes premature, right? So
Yeah.
I think you gotta, you just gotta listen to every problem, because not any two problems are the same. And do I have a business problem? Is there I called you in as a professional. People call our company every day because they have a problem they're trying to solve for. It's not always a negative thing, it's a challenge, right? And so when we're coming into a client's business, we own their problem.
That's
right. And we got to be responsive to that problem. So we got to listen, but then also they called us because we've got the proven people within our company. We're a proven organization, and probably fixing or addressing that problem, or building or solving for that problem. So our customers are hunting for proven performers, people within the organizations that have solved for problems. I think there's another way to look at that. So you call your own subject matter experts to help solve for those problems. And that's what like this network is, right? We call each other all the time to bounce stuff off each other. And it's not always within your company or within your law firm or within your organization. You're reaching outside sometimes to say, hey, tell me about this situation where you had X, Y, and Z happen. And you might connect up a solution.
Yeah. See, it seems like there's not always one answer to the problem. And I love the idea of, we're going to talk about our networks, which is very powerful. And we use our network all the time to solve problems. I had an interesting light bulb moment the other day related to problem solving. I realized, and when I was talking to my team the other day, we have our weekly meeting, and talking about the fact that a lot of our clients, when they come to us, they don't know what their problem is. And identifying the problem is sort of like the key component. And if you can identify their problem, they're relieved in that respect, then you can use all the resources. But I really love it, Bright Community. We've been talking about it a lot. And, all of our very successful people, they're talking about emotion and they're talking about listening. Emotion isn't just for family. Emotion is for business too. Different types of emotions and different types of ways to deal with business problems, but problem solving is core to all of that. So, and then we got to ask Alec if you press record this time.
Solve that problem.
We're on a hot mic. It sounds like you're good, Phil.
Phil, I was just going to say that, when you said humility, Nick, that strikes a chord, because sometimes, especially in our situation in the retail world and in the restaurant world, in dealing with staff and things like that, sometimes you have to take a step back before you try to solve this problem and absorb it and get out of yourself, because sometimes your anger at whatever you can't really solve the problem, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I know what to do, because you've taken a little time back from doing it. And I'm going to quote our friend Phil Fulton, who happens to be sitting in the audience today. Episode 2, he had said asking others for help is a sign of strength and wisdom, and that is a really core to solving problems. Is sometimes you have a problem and you just got to ask somebody for help.
Yeah. So that's awesome. You are definitely a good student of this podcast, my friend. So that's funny, is because I'm glad you liked episode 2. I thought you were talking about my first interview, but when you said I stunk, it was the first episode.
It was the first. Yeah.
Got it. I just want to make sure. So Phil Fulton is my business coach. He gives me all those gems every time I talk to him. So interesting. Before I get into what I was talking about when we talked about meditation and so forth, why don't you just briefly introduce what your businesses are? Is that something that you want to talk about? Nick, we'll start with you.
I'm the chief executive officer at Dubach Electrical Group. We're a family-owned and operated industrial electrical contractor, manufacturer. We serve heating, ventilation, refrigeration industry as well. Industrial electrical infrastructure, process power, controls, automation. So we will do things like we'll bring consumer products to life, for instance. So major brands will call us. We will enter into their process facilities and build out from an empty building their entire production line, from process to packaging. We could be involved in advanced manufacturing projects. We could be involved in e-commerce logistics projects where you're ordering online from some major retailers, and you're getting it the next day, prime, if you will.
Yeah.
And so those are some of our clients. We serve really blue chip customers here in not only the Chicago market, but nationally, predominantly east of the Mississippi.
Got it.
We're about 500 people as an organization, and continue to grow. And that's our story.
Yeah. So Val, if you can chop that up and put it on my desk for tomorrow, so now I know what he does. I don't really care. I just wanted to find out about it. You said I didn't know what you did. So Mike, let's talk about a little M&A and what you do.
Yeah, so I have a private investment firm that I own. We have 3 different entities. I'm the CEO, chairman of the holding corp, and then the managing partner of Wilmera Capital and South Branch Capital. We do lower middle market private equity deals. We'll do distressed deals. And we've got more and more into the VC world, the venture capital world, recently. So I've been really focusing more on early stage deals where there are a lot of problems and a lot of emotions. It's, to me, private equity is more of a spreadsheet game, and the VC world is more of a people game.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. I'm on the buy side of things. I'm not out selling to anybody. We probably look at 1,000 different pitch decks a year and choose a couple to go after.
Yeah. I love a pitch deck. That was good. Yeah. That switching from the lower middle market into the VC, that's like night and day, and
well, we had done some VC deals early on that I actually learned in that space because I was a trader for a long time. I had a seat at the board of trade in the Merck. Left trading in 2005, was out of a job, and started this. Had no idea what I was doing, and 20 years later, here I am.
This is what you're doing.
I've learned a little bit.
Yeah. We got some exciting deals that we jumped in together, so I'm happy about that. John Rod, you do a lot.
Well, basically, main part of my business is brick and mortar retail. So Horton's Home Lighting and Horton's Ace Hardware. You know, local retail serving the community. On the lighting side, we do both retail and then also work with a lot of builder and designer clients. We do a lot of new home construction and project work and light commercial.
Nice. Want to talk about H Foundation? That's your passion project, man.
That is my passion project. It's my way of giving back. Another thing that my father taught me, and one of those early light bulb moments for me. And so 25 years ago, two of our associates at Hortons were diagnosed with cancer, and we were really trying to figure out a way to help our small business deal with it. And started talking to some of my really close friends, and found out that it was a disease that had affected so many different people, and we wanted to do something about it. And we decided the one thing we knew how to do was throw a party. So we decided that we would, create this upbeat Caribbean themed party as a way for people to help people deal with the disease. And so created the H Foundation, raise money for basic science cancer research. All of our money goes down to the Lurie Cancer Center here in Chicago at Northwestern University.
Yeah, it was a great event this year. We had a good one. Still my favorite. You always have the best guests. Terry Bradshaw, still my favorite.
He was a lot of fun.
He was good.
Really was a lot of fun.
So I want to get the show notes though for this podcast. I want to link it to Steve Palmer and his lovely hat from the event. It's lovely.
The
original hat. Long time. So, all right, Steve Palmer.
I think John Rod needs to finish talking about everything he does. He's got one more business he hasn't chatted about.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Go ahead.
I'm also one of the investors, and I just really believe in the local community, and so one of the local investors. We started a barbecue restaurant in downtown LaGrange.
Yeah, we had the wings tonight. They were delicious. Q Barbecue.
Absolutely. Q
All
Barbecue.
right.
How many locations do you have?
Thank you for the marketing and advertising.
Absolutely.
We have three opportunities, or three locations:
Got
Oak
it.
Park, LaGrange, and downtown Naperville.
Yeah. Delicious. All right, Steve Palmer, let's talk about your little
And
adventure.
occasionally he sleeps.
No, he's a busy guy. All these guys are we're all busy. What are you
Yeah,
talking
for
about?
sure.
I'm a second generation restaurant owner, and a quick side note: my mom started this wonderful little restaurant in LaGrange. She bought a little deli in LaGrange called The Spot to Eat, and she decided that she wanted to create a different type of place, and so she wanted to create Palmer Place. And there wasn't a LaGrange bank that would believe in her. So there was this guy in this bank in Western Springs. He happened to be the president of the bank, and guess what? He believed in her. So Michael Mira, his father, gave my mom her first shot and her first loan to open up a business in LaGrange. And from then it just built and went and everywhere from there. But it's a small world that we're sitting on the couch together.
Yeah. And he was a huge fan of your mother and the business.
So that's great. And I appreciate Mike so much. But so we have since recently sold Palmer Place, which is still an ongoing restaurant in downtown LaGrange, and opened up with a third generation, maybe restaurateur. My son, we opened up the Stadium Club at the Maxima Cook, which is not only a fun family restaurant, but it's an entertainment venue on top of that, and we're doing some crazy fun entertainment. So if you can't come there and have a good time, you're not trying.
Yeah.
And that. So, and then on the other side of the world, well, that's my straight job, and then I sit on the board of directors of Metro, which is all the trains in and out of the city, and that's a very rewarding job for me, and a different world that makes me think differently, which is great. I also not only have a passion with John and what they're doing with the H Foundation, but sit on the Lyons Township Mental Health Commission, and that's been a passion of mine because mental illness is devastating us right now, and it really started with one of my son's friends who decided that life wasn't worth living anymore, and took his life. And from that moment on, I dedicated myself to being on the Mental Health Commission and trying to make our community a better community through supporting agencies and supporting people, trying to get them help.
Yeah. And that's why you got to listen to Steve's podcast. It's just one of many things that that he supports our community with. And so I find it very interesting is that, you know, a couple of you didn't know Mike today, but then Steve walks in, of course. Oh, yeah, I know Mike. Because I know Mike longer than I know any of you guys. So he knows everybody. All right, Jason Kornick.
Well, now I'm stuck with between all these people who are here. So, I started off as a young person working in the restaurant industry at 14.
Hey, can you use the microphone a little bit closer so we have clear?
Oh yeah.
We don't want any audio issues.
Audio issues of mine. Podcast number 6.
That nobody listens.
So I am the executive chef and owner of Posto 31 in LaGrange Park. We opened up 7 years ago, and I also do a little bit of restaurant consulting on the side also.
Yeah, so Posto, tell a little bit about that story. That was unbelievable. No one believed that was going to happen, right?
No, it was a weird thing. So I used to own Matone Restaurant, and we're in the process of selling that. And then we found 2 buildings, quarter mile down the road, and we purchased the 2 buildings and decided to put a restaurant where everyone thought I was crazy because there was no foot traffic, nothing was there. And I truly believe of good food, good service, people are going to come. And so far, we are doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you remember we talked about it at the beginning of the podcast. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. When you said, tools in the toolbox was sort of like the driving force, and you did a really good job of motivating me to talk about some of those things. So thanks for that. And I think it was episode 7.
And I'm not going to lie, I didn't believe that location was going to do what it did. But Jason did. I will tell you that it is probably one of the greatest restaurants we have in the Western suburbs. Definitely in our market. You've done such wonderful things there. And he's not going to brag about himself, but he does so much for the community too. And has stepped up and raised thousands of dollars for the Age Foundation and for Special Olympics and for so many other things. And he always is there to help people. So our friendship's awesome, and I appreciate you. But what you did in that location and what you continue to do impresses me all the time. But I've never had a bad meal or sent somebody there whoever doesn't call and thank me.
Yeah.
I had a comment yesterday about Posto 31. We had our Project Management Institute, and they were there, I think, every night for dinner. You had a different dinner for them last week, and they're like, we love that restaurant. I go, even after 5 nights of eating there? And they're like, yeah, man, it was awesome. I'm like, all right, well, I'm glad to hear that. I'll make sure I pass it along. Yeah. So I am passing along the message. They loved it.
Thank you.
So
that's great.
And it's great because it's local to our manufacturing facility and our training center and all that. So I think we got a lot of frequenters from our organization out there. It's great.
Yeah,
the neighborhood needed it.
And I hope later on he tells the story about how he almost burned my friend's house down. But we'll save that.
See, the love fest with those two only lasts so long. And just so our bright community can listen to both podcasts, Steve Palmer, 1,831 downloads, Jason Kornick, 1,795. So,
hey, are we doing any fact checking on this? Like I was gonna jump in. I mean, we just met Mike, right? But I was gonna have your wife call and be like, does he really listen to you? Does he really listen to you? Is there any fact checking going on? I think that would be pretty cool.
Well, I think that's a bad idea.
And he's our attorney, so we got
to listen. No privilege here, gentlemen. All right, so this was the interesting thing that happened to me the other day. I had it on a podcast, but I'm going to ask you all you guys this question: is when you meditate or dream or close your eyes, do you see in color? Do you see like a movie, or do you see in black and white, or what do you visualize? Like
I'll jump in here because you just indicated to me in the car ride down to Chicago, that you can't see in color; you only see in black and white. And I got I've never heard that from anybody but you. I see everything in color.
You do,
in 3D and in color.
3D and in color. Yeah. So it's like a little movie going on in your head.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Nick?
Yeah, I think you should see a doctor. I think if you're not seeing in color,
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know.
What was
I don't know
that?
about 3D. You know, I don't know about that.
Well, you
but
close your eyes, you can see a
can
red
visualize in color.
cardinal or something.
I needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, give it a try.
No, I think we're good. We've established that I could see the full color spectrum, Philip.
See, now you're scaring me. Did everybody see the movie Philadelphia?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a little disturbing. I better go to the doctor. You're right. All right, Jason.
I mean, I close my eyes. I just see the possibilities, and to me, it's always a flash, and it's the flash of going forward. Now, if it's 1 day, 2 days, 4 days, 7 days, 1 month, I can see progression.
But you see it in color?
I see it in color.
All right. John?
So you shared that with me. I had no idea what you were talking about.
That's not unusual breaking news.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely in color, and that's what I do. I mean, I think that's I model a lot, and I model in my head, and you know, my team hates it when I start the morning with. So last night when I was laying in bed, so they know something's coming. So, yeah, definitely my eyes closed and in color.
I don't
All
think
right.
you're an entrepreneur if you're not thinking about work in bed. It's just because that's when your mind starts slowing down, and you're catching strategy because you're fighting tactical stuff during the day.
Did you write it down?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't. I don't write it down.
I do.
We just talked about this last night. Going to jail. Is this going to come up later? The jail scenario?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Has anyone ever been in jail?
No. So, could you do a year in jail,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and what it would be like?
Yeah.
This one over here in the corner says it'd be awesome. I could think all I want. I could work out, eat, healthy, not worry about it, and all of the
Eat
companies
healthy
that I
and
could open or help out because there is no distractions
Yeah.
for a whole year.
have you been reading Rod Blagojevich's biography?
We were listening to the Blagojevich Rogan podcast, which was actually a good one. I listened to it. I liked it.
Really?
It was good. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Did you enjoy his
I
stuff?
actually grew an appreciation for him.
Really?
As crazy as that sounds.
No kidding. Why?
Yeah, he just he identified a lot of the corruption in the back and all the shit that was going on, and he was bus driven for sure. But I think he's absolutely a stellar guy. He was a politician, but I do think that he probably didn't do anything wrong, but got set up in a unique way.
Yeah, and he burned all those bridges though. I mean, no one liked him when he was in office. I think that was part of the
He's
problem.
probably going to be your new mayor in Chicago.
No kidding.
If I had to guess.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
If I had to guess.
so did he say that he enjoyed being in jail?
He talked about all the people he met.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
I think you would have a whole new network in jail. If I had to guess. He was writing appeals for guys in jail.
Yeah.
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 Is
Is
this
this
right.
man or max security? The jail you want to be?
Oh no, definitely not Max.
Okay.
No,
Club
just,
Fed?
Yeah, just relax. I don't want to be in jail. I said the concept of shutting down your any distraction for a year seems pretty. And we talked about Ben Wessels in his podcast how he went away for 6 months. Not away, he went to at a sabbatical. Thank you, Jason Corning. Yeah, so that was the thing. Sort of he was able to shut down and think, just like you're saying, when you're sleeping. Yeah, I think that's what you were talking about. When you're just about to go to sleep, that's when your mind is relaxed and you're thinking about stuff. So, color or no color, Steve Palmer?
First of all, Angela Kern with one of the greatest mental health agencies that we have, Pillars. If you're listening to this, please give Phil a call tomorrow. And let's find out. Let's get to the root of this darkness.
Didn't she retire?
Yeah, probably. I gotta go color. I can definitely see color, dream color, live color. I mean, it's I don't see color, but at the same time,
I got it.
But no,
that was a good one.
But yeah, the year in jail is not. I'll take a week on the beach in the Bahamas or Jamaica.
I think it was more of a conceptual thing. I don't really want to be.
Yeah,
in
the
jail.
concept's good, but there's got to be some other venues that you could choose.
All right, I'll choose a different venue. Sorry, at least this is not live or anything. All right, so as we go through this, do you have any rebuttal as to why you're, 80 or 45 behind Steve Palmer?
Do you hear his phone? His episode's going off right now. He keeps playing it over and over in his pocket every day. That's what it is.
Hey, Alec, are we doing all right over there, man? All right, just want to make sure. Val looks concerned.
All right, well,
Got it.
That has to be an all drink. then.
I'll drink.
Cheers.
Still going on.
Cheers.
Salute.
So this is personal to Mike Omer, not personal, so to speak, but you originally, when I asked you the first time to get on the podcast, you said, no, I don't think so. And then later on, we were talking randomly. You said, hey, I think I'm ready for the podcast. What was the change in dynamic that caused you to come on?
I don't know. I just wanted to do this with you. I thought, so it was more of a personal thing. I like Phil a lot, and I think I felt bad that I said no at the first time, and I had a lot going on, so I just this isn't something I can do right now. And then when things started to free up a little bit, I thought, yeah, I'd like to do this.
Got it. No, that was cool. That was excited to me when you did decide to do it, because a lot of people, will say yes right away. Some people say, no right away, and that's okay. And I think that's important for a bright community is that, people say no for some reason, whatever it may be. Maybe later on, they'll come back and change their mind. But yeah, we had a great episode, and we've got some more coming for sure.
Or your friends will bully you into doing a live one.
Yeah.
I've never felt bad about saying no to you.
Well, you kept on saying no, and then you said, well, if we have a round table, maybe. And then I go, oh, we have to have a round table.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the inspiration for this.
Yeah, he was.
You know why? Because I feel protected with this. I mean, you guys have been such an influence on me that, this is easy. Sit with your friends and talk like this. That's easy.
We need to get him help too if he feels protected.
You hear that, Angela?
Two coming your way.
We're all going to end up in a room together.
Yeah. A white
I'll
room.
say one more thing about that. The way I feel about there's total transparency. So there's never come on, like there's some other angle or something. So there's total transparency with you. So that's why I felt comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. That's awesome. That's a nice thing for someone to say to me. Thank you. So I did figure out that I have this thing, and it is probably 5% of the population or less. And I don't know if I probably told you guys a story. I'm out with my cousins, Kathy and Michelle, and Joey was there, my son and my wife, and we're up in the mountains. Or not, we're up in the mountains, and we were having a wine tasting, so forth, enjoying our day. And I started having this conversation. What?
Like, is this a dream or something real? I don't know where you're going.
Well, it was in black and white for sure. So I was talking to my cousin Kathy, and I was explaining this to Michelle. I was telling it to Michelle, and she said, and all of a sudden the guy behind the bar who's serving us the wine, he has no idea who I am. He wouldn't say a thing. He goes, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what's wrong with you." I said, well, "What is it?" And I get the name, but it was like aphantasia or something. So it is a condition that exists in the world. But I was diagnosed by a wine guy,
A bartender.
a bartender, so to speak. Yeah,
They're counselors too.
they are. Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, so as you see this podcast go, and it's not always about this podcast, but what is the next direction do you think this should go? I mean, we have these certain guests, that were localized, and then we have some that aren't localized, and then we try to get it up to a higher level. What do you think? Where do you think we should go with this thing? Should we do more of these? I think our bright community would be anxious, and I'd be interested to hear what our bright community says as to where we should go with this thing.
Well, right off the bat, I'm thinking a compound in Florida, but I'm not sure that's the angle you were going.
I know someone.
That could be a
I
reality,
think
right?
they volunteered this Dwyer South studio, which is very, very, very possible.
Yeah, not bad. Now you got a studio there?
Sure, we can make one. We got chairs and microphones and internet, modern luxuries, of
A
course.
couple alligators.
Cigars, whatever.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have the cigars at the next
Yeah.
one. That's good. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I would say sitting with you in person versus over a Zoom call, or being with you in person in an environment where it's somebody can watch and not only hear. Because for me, I like to hear what people are saying, but more importantly, I like to see what they're doing, visually while they're talking.
Got it.
So I think if you really want to grow this and move it in a direction, it's about people's personal stories. It's sitting in person, one-on-one, in this type of environment. You can do group or one-on-one person, but I think that's where you need to go with this. If you really want to take it in the direction that it can go.
Cool.
First of all, just the fact that you asked that question, I think is part of who you are, Phil, and what makes you so successful, right? So here you've created this podcast that's fairly early in its life cycle, and you've been so successful with it. And the question you're asking is, how do I make it better? And I think that's definitely a testament to you and how you go through your life and what makes you so successful.
Thank you. And I really want this answer too for our bright community. So I really want people to let me know, because you can't get better if you're not asking, how to get better.
I think the subjects and everything you do and getting everything always comes back to the core and the theme of light bulb moments in people's lives, whether it's business or whatever. It's the right way to go and continue on. And there's so many more stories and light bulb moments. You've gone from personal stories, business stories, not charitable stories, sad, happy, all in between, and all those things. And if people take the time to actually listen to this podcast, it will help your life. This can be a life-changing podcast, and the fact that you just sit there and allow it to happen, it's very organic and it's very cool. I would just say that maybe you need a sidekick, and Val should be on the podcast with you. That's what I was thinking. That would make it better.
Val, any comment?
I got a comment. Phil Fulton seems really relaxed.
Oh, that's right.
Don't forget he's still here.
There's room right here if you want to.
He's been
Good over there.
all right. We're ready to tap you in, buddy.
I do have one idea, Phil.
Yes,
which,
sir.
for whatever it's worth. You've had so many just influential people and leaders and that share so many amazing stories. I thought it might be interesting for you to have some of the people that these leaders actually influence
Oh.
and how they've been influenced by these people.
Oh my goodness. That's a light bulb moment.
I love the spirit of that, John Rod. It scares me a little bit, but I love the spirit of it.
I'm starting to think, who am I going to call for Steve Palmer?
Exactly.
What a great idea. You get a note on that one. Beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else?
So I really think that when you do the 10 to 15 minute blurbs, it'd be pretty cool if you had someone who had an issue or a problem, like call in or write in, and then having you help resolve the problem that they're having or the situation that they're in. I think that could help out, because so many people have issues and they're scared to bring them up or talk about it in the business world or in real life. But you may be able to help more people that way, because it seems like a lot of people just in life, we all have the same sort of issues and problems that you could resolve with just a comment from yourself.
So like it's on the fly. So
Yeah.
you got a problem, call in. And maybe we could even advance that to when we have an interview, and then have two people sort of hammering at it too. What a great idea.
Great idea.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think you're onto something there. Some interaction, not just kind of a one-way thought.
Yeah.
But getting that engagement, the feedback.
Interesting.
So it's a smaller soundbite of a more focused segment of a podcast.
Got it. Bring someone in. We're talking about a specific subject.
Bring them in for the 15-minute session. What do you call that?
I'll be on Flash Moment.
Flash moment.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we just have another one. Yeah. I'll be on Flash something. I love it. Interesting. Maybe a Friday.
That'll
episode.
get you in prison. They'll flash something.
Boy, do I regret those comments. This is the problem with live. So how we doing, Alec? Do we have anybody that typed in and wants some questions answered or any direct comments, or are we going to keep on going?
There was one question.
Got it. Anybody want to take that one?
Structure and routine for me. Wake up early. I do my meditation. I do my journal. I have a focus planner. I have years of these that I've filled out. Starting off the day with structure and routine, with that process between the exercise, the daily, focus planner, and the meditation, helps me get grounded, be able to move forward. Oh, sorry.
You want me to repeat it?
No, it's okay. Just
I'm done talking.
That was fantastic. Well done, Mike.
That was like what Forrest Gump. He said that
It
beautiful.
was like our
thing.
first podcast, right?
Yeah, the first 2
great.
minutes.
We didn't catch anything.
That was beautiful. Anybody else?
Structure is a key. I mean, I think you wake up with a plan. We're big into writing things down and lists, and I have a little book that I carry with me in my man purse. Everyone makes fun of, and it's a notebook, and you write down what has to get done, and check off your things. I mean, I try to do Mondays one thing, Tuesdays one thing, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's very structured. I think that's what helps me succeed, is that structure of get it done. And you also get so many curveballs in our industry of what's going on. This person didn't come in, or that didn't happen, and this restaurant needs this, and you run into another restaurant to help out this situation. So, it's all about trying to keep focused on the goal that needs to be done for that day and that time, and achieve that, and then start something new.
Yeah, so like the product in your man purse, I use this. I think the guy's name is Tim Ferriss. He wrote like the 40 hour or 4-hour work week or something.
Uh-huh.
He's got a big podcast, and he has a thing called the Focus Planner.
I
Which
listened
is-
to your thing. I actually ordered one.
I keep a
Beautiful.
ton of them in my office
I
because
was hoping
anybody
you brought
wants
some.
one. I was actually going to, and I didn't because I don't want you guys to think I was a tool. I would recommend that to anybody because it focuses on your big three, all my tasks, and then my time is blocked out. Like, time blocking is critical for me because if I have empty time, up comes anxiety. What do I do with this time? How do I but those focus planners are incredible.
We years ago I did one the High Performance Academy. Brendan Burchard is an author, and we made at Dubach, we have high performance planners that are, one side was from him, the other side was a Franklin Covey template, which is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then we made it.
What was that? What is the last thing you said? It was
Brendan Burchard.
Franklin
No.
Covey.
Franklin Covey. Got
Franklin
it.
Covey.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
took 2 planners and made them one. We
Interesting.
made our own deal, and we made it specific to our industry, but it was, everybody's always got a project going on, so they got like a block for 3 projects. What are 5 or 6 things I need to move each of these projects forward? And then who must I talk to today? What are the things I have to get done today before talking with anybody, or emails I need to respond to? And then you have your other priorities, kind of your back burner. And what we did was we digitized these for the iPads as well, because everyone's using iPads now. So they have a scrolling PDF of all year. When I was laughing when you said you have your books, I have so many of these completed planners. And then eventually we went paperless. So we took that book. We still have them in our company store. You can get a Dubach High Performance Planner.
Is that right?
And yeah, you can just grab one off the shelf there. Alec knows. And or you can get the email version using an iPad with the iPad pencil, and they're fantastic. But what's funny is eventually I got off of it because the systems are so ingrained. When you do that for 5 years, you're just using your notes now in your iPhone to make your priorities.
Wow.
And when I moved from chief operating officer to chief executive officer, my role changed drastically as well.
Huh.
So you go from tactical, operational, and strategic things to more strategy long term. So you kind of what you're doing changes a little bit as well. So you're not into the project minutia stuff. So that your planning needs change, but when you have that structure, there's nothing that can pierce it. 'Cause
It's critical.
It's super critical. And I think
Wow.
that's the one thing you'll find in any high performing individual was structure,
Structure, routine,
right? And
process.
routine and then and repeatable process. So and then we've taught our people in our organization, we're like, hey, here's a tool that might help you. We're not shoving it down anyone's throat, but we're training them on it and the benefits. And I would say a significant portion of our team walks around with that planner or the digital version of it.
That's some powerful stuff, Nick Dubach. I love it.
You're very
So
welcome.
I didn't I didn't thank you yet, but thank you.
I could see it
Coming.
in black and white and color.
So, so now could will you let Tim Foley have one?
Tim Foley's more than welcome.
All right, hear that, Tim
Coming
Foley?
your way, Tim. Tim likes to write,
He does love to write.
and I'm going to send him a big pencil too.
Yeah.
One of those big. He likes those big pencils. I
The
like that.
mechanical ones are his favorites.
Do you like mechanical? I used to write with mechanical pencil exclusively.
Nice.
I loved it.
So that's interesting. I saw Phil Fulton's head bobbing up and down. So I know what my next meeting's going to look like.
we can get you the template, and you guys can change it for Fornaro and
Yeah.
adapt it.
Ah,
We got a Word template. It'll go week by week. It's really cool.
that's great.
There's one more book that I used, and I'll just put this out here for anybody that wants. It's called The Mind Journal, and it's a journal for men. And we go back to the original thing about problem solving. You end up writing. It takes you through a process every day, and you end up writing out so many things that you end up really solving the problem in the morning before it even gets there. So I would recommend. It's like having a built-in counselor or advisor with you. It's called The Mind Journal.
Thank you. Anything else, guys?
I just had my light bulb moment. Thank you, Nick. Like, if you don't mind, I'm going to get up and go because I have some work to do now.
We do mind.
We just
You
turned
stay-
60 and now
you
we
stay
found out we're
right there.
underachievers.
I mean, when I think about it, coming out of the big 8 accounting world, and I guess now I'm showing my age, when there was the big 8, everything was so structured. And when I first got to Hortons, everything was structured. And it really was more of a problem solving, tactical, how to get the business that wasn't performing well to where it is. But then that transition happened, right? And now there's not so much structure in my day, and I could make my list, and I'm a big list maker, but I find at the end of the day, I still have my list because everything else has happened. But I really have never taken that time to teach my team that strategy.
Yeah, if you arm them with the tools, they're going to scale for you.
Love it. Thank you.
Hear that? The tools.
The tools in the toolbox.
Tools in the toolbox.
Yeah. So that's great. Anything else to add?
I'm good.
So again, I'm an anomaly.
Tim Foley set us in a whole different
He
direction.
did.
Well
He
done,
did.
Tim.
Tim did it, and it's going to help him
I'm
too.
calling Tim tomorrow.
Do it.
I'm going to call Tim tomorrow.
See that, Tim? Tim, how you feeling, man? All right. So we talk a lot about this, now recently is AI and how it's affecting all of our businesses and our lives, actually. And it's funny. My dear friend, Pete Troost, and he's been on the podcast as well. He just, and I think he'll get him on it as he's really enjoying the podcast, or so he says. Oh, Troost is chatting. Well, he said, he says, when we was talking about AI and how much it's advanced, he says typing stuff into ChatGPT and then reading it is very caveman-like. He says it's so far advanced beyond it. And he starts talking about how this podcast can improve on an AI basis. Maybe that's what he's going to say. Hopefully I stole his thunder because I really like doing that to Pete. And so it's kind of an interesting dynamic is that the more that we work on it, the more that we rely on it, the more I see the benefits associated with it. In my industry, it's invaluable, and getting things from point A to point B faster, it's a critical component. So how are you guys using it in your various industries now, if at all?
Every day. We use it for correspondence. We use it for engineering calculation, validation. We use it for some basic, preservation of the record kind of, or scenario responses. I mean, we're using it in everything. We're responding to emails, um, uh, uh, internal memorandums, communications. It just cleans up everything. It's a really great scrubbing tool. We've done some contract provisions as well in it, right? So there's some legalese benefits to some of it, but it's been great for us.
So when you have those contract provisions, send them over to me. I love looking at them
Yeah,
to see how they
absolutely.
work, where they're missing or where they're right on. I'm actually pretty impressed.
Yeah.
With how it produces and
Yeah,
how quickly.
because
it
we know the
produces.
areas we want to focus in on.
That's right.
And so we just take that section and we ask it to tailor something more balanced, and that's, a more balanced approach, or tipping it in a particular favor, and then it'll come through and scrub it really, really nicely. And to your point, I think we were talking about when it learns you.
Yep.
It's like, damn, that was really well put.
Yeah.
Really well said. And it's cool because it actually does make you smarter by the way you are reading it back, and by digesting that, you're becoming sharper, and your brain is firing at a whole new level because it's seeing a higher performing level of response in text and written form. It's been great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I use it every day.
You got to be careful though a little bit in terms of relying on it, because not relying on it for things, but it forces my brain. I do learn from it because it sometimes brings up points I wasn't thinking about on a strategic level, and I'll challenge it in certain ways. Say, well, this is not where I'm going. This is a strategic level. But sometimes, like when I'm tired, I'll let it go, and then I go, and I rely on it as what it should be. Not for my legal work. Don't worry about that. Just in terms of general. So. Interesting phenomena. What are you guys thinking?
Great for menu description.
Got it?
And you want to rework a menu description, in the restaurant business. It's the greatest thing and it comes up with way better descriptions than I can. So that's been an asset on that end of it. I don't use it a ton. In some quotes and some correspondence and things like that, I'll clean it up with that. But for the most part, just that be the tool that I use it for most.
Cool.
We don't use it much in our restaurants, but I would see it being something for social media, creating content for social media, doing videos, taking pictures, loading it up, having it create a video for it. I think that's something that could help at least our business in the restaurants of social media, for Instagram and Facebook, TikTok.
And why don't you use it more?
We do not do a lot of social media posting for the restaurant. I find it a lot of, we post things up, and you'll see other restaurants that will snag ideas, and you'll see it up there and they'll take your ideas. So, we get a lot of people say, oh, your menu is not current on our website. Well, it isn't because things change so frequently for us on a weekly basis. I don't know why we don't do it more. I think it's just you fall into a routine of, this is the way we do it. This is how we do it. We just do it, and it's succeeded for us. But it is something that's always in our minds of doing it to see if it makes it easier and faster for us.
Anybody here have any good ideas for Jason Kornick?
I mean, you got to play with it, right? We're talking AI, right? I mean,
Yeah.
You got to play with it. You got to find out where it can help you. You just got to write your random thoughts. I was going to open my Chat GPT and just go to my history and start like, here, let's read one that I recently did.
Yeah.
But I opened my phone and my son's texting me. And so I'll tie it all together. He's like, hey, can I ask you a question about networking? Well, every night, see, he's an LT freshman. He's an intro to business. Every night I come home, we're talking about intro to business. Like, Dad, I need to talk to you about single member LLCs. I'm studying corporations. Talking to me about tax deductible transactions, and like entertaining clients, all that kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, every time I go to Posto and entertain a customer, Dad's writing that off on his taxes, right?
Yeah.
So, but he's asking me right now about networking, and he goes, tomorrow, I think, or Friday, I have to go speak to his class on like a conference call about business. So little did I know he's watching the podcast. And he
That's
wants
awesome.
to ask us a question about networking.
All right.
Can
Well,
I shoot
Yeah.
yeah.
at
let's-
some point?
Yeah, no. Let's finish the
Finish your
AI,
segment,
and then
yeah.
and then absolutely we'll go
All
right
right.
into the network. We'll ask this question. That's fantastic. So, anybody else have anything to do with about AI? I think we let Jason off the hook, but that's okay.
No, he's going to use it. He's going to test it. He's going to
Well,
put his random thought in there, no matter how silly it is. And you're going to start making a friend with ChatGPT or
Let's be a
Grok,
friend.
depending on what you are, a Tesla guy, right? So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
Grok.
yeah.
So I could show you I got a peer group. I got a bunch of guys in a peer group, and they were messing with me. And we've got this chat thread, and they took my LinkedIn picture, put it in a Grok. Did you see this?
No.
And they go, and with a cigar and a cheetah. And this is what they made.
Show the camera.
I don't know if we can do that. Can we show the camera?
Yeah, gotta go up quicker.
My chat or my Grok AI image.
Let me see that.
Isn't it awesome?
That's so awesome.
Is that
So-
black and white and in color?
It's black and white and in color. Yes,
That's
it is.
fantastic. That reminds
Isn't
me
it
of
great?
Saw it in black and white.
So
that reminds me of
so
Talladega Nights.
I didn't know what was going on with Grok, but some people like Grok, which is Elon's version. Some people I like Chat, but Grok has some really cool animation.
That's really neat.
So you got to make friends with both. Is
Oh.
my point, and
Oh,
find
yeah.
out which one.
Yes, definitely say please and thank you. Oh, well, here before we get it, are you kind to AI? Do you say please and thank you?
Personally, I don't have a whole lot to add because I have not used it. My team uses it, and we use it a lot in what you're talking about. We use it for marketing. We use it for advertising. We use it for e-blast. We use it for social media, that type of stuff. Can't add a lot, Phil.
Yeah. So one of these days after work, coming over, we have our bar at the office. We'll sit down and we'll give you a lesson on
I'm in.
AI.
It's fantastic. It's so great.
Anything?
I would say we're dabbling with it in certain areas right now. I mean, ultimately, it can do a lot of financial modeling for us, but as I've mentioned, we're doing more and more in early stage company. At the end of the day, I'm investing in a company, but I'm really investing in people. And so what am I going to learn from AI about this person that's going to make a decision? Really nothing.
It's a time machine.
It will speed some aspects of our business up, but at the end of the day, I'm investing in people and people that can execute on things they say they're going to. I mean, I can financially model stuff on our own. We can use AI to do that, but financial models in an early stage company are basically toilet paper.
Yeah.
So-
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The
But,
growth, the
but I think
projections.
in our daily interactions, we have to write. We have to put thought to paper. We're transmitting, we're corresponding. And that can take hours and hours and hours sometimes. And if I can take 3 hours of writing and word crafting and condense that into 10 minutes or less,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You're
I
buying
could see
time,
Nick in your business. It's a lot more
for sure.
prevalent. For me, just dabbling in some of the perimeters of it, I just never see it being a really driving force in what makes me make this decision. But for your business, totally different. I get it.
Yeah.
I think Michael Maras, we're gonna have to open his eyes
Yeah.
too. There's gonna be some more. You're
Yeah,
gonna see.
Mike's dismissing it right now, but that's okay.
We'll get up. We'll get up. So before we get to your son, is Pete Truce gonna chime in here, or is he gonna let me down here? Yeah. And what? About AI. Yeah. Yeah. He said that's what he said. It was the caveman stuff. He says you can actually talk to it. And I think it's Gronk, right? Grok. It might be Grok. Yeah, I think it is Grok. That when you talk to it and you have like a regular conversation, you don't need to write down. So it's almost like this podcast, because we got a bunch of light bulb moments from each other. You're getting light bulb moments talking. Maybe I'll be out of business pretty soon on the podcast. You never know. So, but anyway, it's pretty cool. Hey, we'll see. It does. It's so kind. You know what I'm going to try to do tomorrow? I'm going to say, hey, quit being so kind to me. I don't want it. I don't like it. but it is. It's like everything you say. It's like, oh, well, that's a good idea. That's a great strategy. It's really good for your.
I thought you were talking about your wife.
No.
I think mine's pretty straight.
You know, Anne Marie. That's not the case. Anne Marie, you listening? She's not listening. All right. Well, let's hear it. Oh, good question.
So yeah, so Ivan said, yeah, how has networking helped you with your business, and how has it helped you succeed? Got it. That was the second part.
And I'll jump out and just say in Jim Ferguson's podcast with Phil on one of his light bulb moments, success starts with relationships. This is a forgotten bit of how to get ahead in business and how to make things happen. People forget about relationships. And I don't care where we're at in the AI world or this world or that world, relationships is still the core to keeping your business and making your business thrive. And I mean, Jim Ferguson hit it right on the nose on that podcast with you.
Right on the head.
So I was reading a book by Simon Sinek called Leaders Eat Last. And Simon goes, he says, all the people from these like AI, or I don't know, was it AI convention or some sort of computer Comic-Con convention, all these gamers get together. Like they get together in person because they want to network. Well, by virtue of your industry, it's like it's all supposed to be virtual and digital.
Yeah.
He's like, but they don't get the satisfaction that the human element and the human connection provides. Like it's totally a good read, and it's totally spot on. Like you get more done in person with somebody in terms of a relationship, a deal, a network, a commitment. There's nothing to really replace that handshake and that human connection. So,
And when you have a problem, you have a relationship with somebody
No
to
doubt.
solve the problem.
no doubt.
I couldn't agree more with what Steve and Nick just said. I think it's a lost thing with these young kids. When kids come to me and say, hey, go out and start building a network of people. And don't go out and build a network where you're asking for something.
Yep.
Go out and learn about them, take interest in them, figure out what you can do for them, and then build the network that way.
And I think
Hallelujah.
your network gets built just through simple socializing, right? Because so many people these days, especially young people, have become introverted behind the almighty text message, right? And behind the phone and behind the social media platform, because that's some sort of an insulator. What it does is it's crippled our ability to connect physically with humans. And
Well, to see somebody when they talk,
Yes.
and this is going back to your light bulb moments. I think bringing people that you're sitting next to one-on-one has a bigger impact than just talking over a Zoom or I don't know. I got to be close to somebody, right?
No, I'm not disagreeing.
But everybody's hiding behind these phones today.
Yeah.
Somebody can send me a text, which I take completely different than what they say something to me in person.
out of context.
Yeah.
You can't retone.
Yeah.
Right?
But in our
Well said.
business, in the restaurant business, and I think Jason will agree with this, you'll have vendors that you've built a relationship and done things with, and you'll do them a favor every now and then because they need a little help with something too, and you'll do them the favor. That rep goes or that person goes, and the next rep walks in, and they're like, "Well, you did this for them. Why aren't you helping me?" I had a relationship with them. We built something together. He did things for me. I did things for him. I don't know you.
Right.
So you don't just get to walk in and ask for a favor, like Mike just said. You have to build the relationships. And then, to be honest with you, building the relationships is what becomes friendship. And friendship's the key to the world.
Key to everything.
So, but you have to actually talk to somebody and get to know somebody. And that part of things right now is the most difficult thing.
Yep.
I'll say one more thing about relationships. True relationships are built in the trenches. they're built in the trenches. When things go wrong and you build a relationship with somebody over time, those relationships last forever.
Ironclad.
The-
Perfect.
there's another segment of the book that you'll love is also about what people learn and how they learn. Not many people have learned too much from when shit went right. They learn things when things go terribly wrong.
Yep.
Right, as long as they don't repeat it. Right. So it's a fantastic read because it's so relevant to everything we're talking about. I think you guys like it.
Yeah, we're gonna get Simon on this podcast.
Is that what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna
I'd
work
love to
hard
be
at
here.
it.
Yeah.
For $500,000, you can get him here.
We'll see.
Well,
We'll
and
see.
before these guys, I was saying, I have a friend out there, and his name's Chris Miller, and he had a successful company that he and his brothers built on relationships. It's the security shutter business that they billions and millions of dollars they sold us for, but the key to their business was relationships. These three guys went out, built relationships through Walmart and through whoever, and now you see that their things at every store. If you see metal shutters, most likely it's theirs. But literally, and my buddy Chris is probably the number one relationship guy I've ever seen in my life. He becomes friends with everybody, but he's also the most loyal person in the world, and that people know that they can rely on him. And that's the way he treated his vendors, his customers. They'd have he'd be sending gifts to their kids' bar mitzvah, whatever it may be. But he was he had a relationship with those people, and that was the success of that company. And that company grew and grew and grew until the VCs bought it and took it over. And I'm not sure what's happening with that now, but they're happy in where they're at. But literally, I mean, my dad was a relationship guy. My mom was in relationships. I've learned from the best. But I'm watching people today and their success and where they're at in life, and it all comes back to that. And so and your son is a great young man who already knows about relationships. But that is definitely the key that he can spread in his business class to his teacher and to others, because I don't know they're teaching that.
Yeah.
He seems to be it seems to be a good foundation. He comes home every night talking about it. I'm really excited that he's getting something out of that. So
That's wonderful.
hopefully we've answered some of his questions.
We got more to say. So just make sure you keep the relationships with your vendor so we can keep on getting the Fortaleza. Very critical.
Yeah, I mean, relationships are key. I mean, I can go back to our relationship, starting off as friends and growing to our friendship now as business partners. And we own things together. You and I bouncing things off of each other in the restaurant industry and what we're doing, and John and I becoming friends, and then becoming business partners in businesses too. Like, these are things of relationship that you build and trust that you have. And we always talk about that your friends become your family. It really is true, because when the shit hits the fan and stuff goes down, you're reaching out to your friends for help. And it is okay to ask for help, because that's what we're here for, is to help each other at the height of our careers and at the bottom of our careers. We're there no matter what. And that's the important thing of building relationships, keeping your word and making it true and sticking to it. Talking about vendors, true story just happened. I won't use the beer company. I asked for 2 beers tickets. And he said, I can get them. So I need 2 for the Vikings game. I said, I will make you the exclusive beer person at the restaurant for 1-year contract.
Wow.
Good thing for the beer company. So tickets come in, standing room only. True story. I took it as an insult.
Yeah.
So I went and I let down our GM, who the tickets were for. I went to StubHub. I spent, I think, $1,100 on 2 tickets for her and her husband to go. So I bought them. And now that beer company may never serve another beer at the restaurants. Because in business, when you do someone a favor, you have to come back for another favor. And this is a person who come back and said, I need a favor. I need a favor. And I always say yes to every purveyor. I'll help you out.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, you got to make sure you tell him, because he'll learn from that mistake. That's an interesting thing. Is like, why why would he ever do that? That's a big ask from you. That's unbelievable.
I don't want to mention that I got tickets to the suite from.
He got the two seats.
Yeah.
Well done, Steve Palmer.
Good job.
Well, you outranked, I guess.
John Rod?
You know what? This is so near and dear to my heart. And I mean, and I believe in who I am as a person and in business. I mean, to me, relationships are everything. When you're brick and mortar in a community, when you're the local hardware store, if it's not about networking and relationships, then you don't have a chance. You know, I believe in this to the level of, I got involved in the local theater, I got involved in the local hot dog company, and it's really the essence of what got me involved with the H Foundation and the Gourmet Bash. And Jason just brought this up, but I'm here today and have accomplished what I've accomplished because of the people I've surrounded myself with and because of those networks. I mean, probably my first week that I walked into Horton's, I don't know if it was the first day or the first week, I met Steve Palmer. You know, I already shared that my dad was my mentor, but I learned so much from Steve about being a part of the community, about being in a network. I probably met all of you guys because of that. And Jason, like I said, Jason already said this, but it goes beyond the friendship part of it to the family part of it. And those true networks and those true relationships, I refer to people in my business as they're my work family. Spend so much time together. You know, I refer to you guys as my brothers because I really believe that. And I try to carry that into everything I do in business, everything I do in my personal life. And a lot of people talk about partnerships, relationships, but I think you really have to walk that, and it's more than talk. You have to live it. I mean, you guys have all been that inspiration to me, and it truly, I mean, for your son to even ask that question says so much, Nick. You should be really proud of him. And
Yeah.
Get it. Good job, Ivan.
Yeah. So
Hopefully answered your questions, Ivan.
well, I'm not done yet. Hold on a second. Hey, Ivan, this is good. You come to my
Here's
office
the
anytime you
punchline.
want. We'll talk. Listen to this podcast because guess what? All this podcast is a huge, huge network that keeps on growing and growing and growing. And each person that you listen to, if you ever want to talk to that person, all you got to do is ask, and they will all listen to you. And if, as I said all before to my podcast break community, if they say no, we'll take their episode down immediately. So the key to this component is meet everybody you can, help everyone you can, interact with all these people, and every meeting that you go to, and it's hilarious. Sometimes you're like tired, you don't want to go to that meeting, and you're going to add value. And Mike started this podcast off talking about listening. Listen to what they have to say. Learn about them first. Then they will tell you everything you need to know, and then you'll have that connection. There's so many. I'll send you the 4 or 5 episodes just about networking. You know, that's my thing. I love it. If I didn't have networking, I wouldn't have joy. So real important for you to ask those questions young. And as they just said, that's not a normal situation when someone your age asks that question. So you're probably already 90% there, my friend. All right. Chat. Anything from the chat that's I don't want to keep them waiting. If not, we'll go into one or more, 2 more. How you guys doing, by the way? You guys feeling all right? Yeah.
Question one, and ask Jason, what's your
Thanks,
I know
Joe
why.
Croc. Go ahead.
Capers. I do not like cooking with capers.
Why?
I don't like the brininess, the salt bomb. Like, not my thing.
Crunchy, too crunchy?
No, because I love texture.
Huh.
So it's the brininess, the saltiness. 'Cause it's a weird salt to it. It's not like
I'm with you. When I go to an Italian restaurant, I see capers. I'm like,
Yeah.
thanks.
I don't think Steve's going to outdo you on this one, by the way. This
Well,
is a lot of pressure.
I don't like to overspice things, so I like the quality of the product come through, and so I like to buy quality products and work with that, and let the meat speak for itself, so to speak, and not overspice things. there's salt and pepper on the reason for on the table for a reason, and that's so you can add that if that's your thing. So
You know what's really odd is that our restaurant doesn't put salt and pepper on the tables because we season it perfectly.
Oh boy. Thanks, Joe Croc. Thanks a lot.
and I'm gonna leave Jason as the winner on this one just because I'm a nice guy, and that's how you build relationships.
Professional.
Great question.
Outstanding. Well, you start there, Steve Palmer.
Sometimes you don't need to. So sometimes that it makes the greatest relationship. But there are other times that a business relationship can ruin a friendship. You have to be careful when you walk that line, but you have to be able to read people, and I'm kind of good at that, I think, and so reading people and working with people. But if somebody lets you down, you gotta let them go. You can't always hold on to in the business world, that person. But the key for you is to try. Your goal is to never let people down. Is always to try to be there and come through with whatever you promise. Thus, Bears tickets or whatever it may be. But you want to. That's a tough. I mean, literally, I think there's both, and there's people that I only want to have a business relationship with. There's people I only want to have a personal friendship with. But there are people and like this group and others that my life is just so much better because I have both with you guys.
Yeah.
When in our company, we have obviously a vast number of employees, but it's our work family, right? And as John said, there's people that you work with very closely at the top in the trenches that you're with, and you become friends. And some of my dearest friends work in our organization. But the one thing that I've had to, I think it goes without saying when you have that mutual respect and that bond with somebody, there's days where we're not all 100%, and there's days where I have to do my job, irrespective of the fact that we were out as friends last night for dinner doing X, Y, and Z. If we're not promised delivered on something, I have an obligation to say something. I have an obligation to address it, and we talked about humility. Not everyone's 100% every day because something else is going on. But we teach our foremen even at their levels of supervision. Hey, look, if you've got Johnny on the spot and he's always there for you, he always gives you 110%, and tomorrow that person is all of a sudden, they're going to shit and they're not performing for you. You got to pull them aside and say, hey man, is everything okay? Because there could be something going on at home. There could be something going on with a loved one, someone's sick, someone's, problems with marriage. People have a million influences outside of work that sometimes bring themselves into work. So I found that when I've approached it that way, it's strengthened my relationship and the level of respect and understanding. Like, yeah, I get it, Nick, you got to do your job and you got to ask tough questions. And sometimes, it's not necessarily coming down on us, but sometimes you have to be stern. Right. But I've been able to get it to work like that. And that's just part of having that respect and treating people with a certain level of dignity that allows for you to be able to do your job and still be deep, meaningful friends.
Yeah. You have to understand what they're going through. It's important.
And a lot of the time there's always something underneath.
Got it. I'll let Mike go, and they'll probably close up soon. I know Mike was up at 3:04 a.m.
I would say the question about the difference between a friendship relationship and a business relationship. A friendship relationship is a positive thing because you want to spend time with them. That's the same as a business relationship. A positive thing because you want to spend time with them. The biggest joy I have out of doing what I do is developing these relationships with people. That's what's meaningful to me. I think a true relationship starts with, you have a shared vision kind of in life. You have shared values as people. and then you have total transparency, right? But joy comes from a friendship relationship, and positivity comes from a friendship relation, the same way a business relationship does. My business people that are around me, I consider my friends, and I won't do business with people that aren't my friends. That's for me.
Yes. Anything?
No, I think it's true. Like most of my businesses in the restaurant are with friends. And I look at it as I work harder at those businesses that I'm involved in or put effort into them or do things because I don't want to let down that friend. So I'm giving 110% with that. I think that's the biggest thing of partnerships is going into it with the common goal and the same vision of what it has to be, and then trying our best together to achieve those goals.
I'm not very good at the separation because I because I believe that the blending of that is so important and it is so helpful when it works the right way. Now, when it doesn't, and I've had a couple of those situations, as you guys know, and that divorce is sometimes it's difficult. But I typically err on the side. I want to surround myself with people I want to do business with, whether it's my team, whether it's our vendors, whether it's our customers, the builders we work with, the local businesses in town, the business association, all of these different levels of networks, relationships, friendships. And so, it's a little bit dangerous because you put yourself out there when you're not good at separating those things. But you build that respect, and I think you're so right about that, Nick. And so you can do both. I don't think you have to just automatically separate.
Yeah. I here. I'm of the opinion that I have to do business with my friends, or if they're not friends at the beginning, we have to form that friendship. And long-term relationships are critical. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm with you. I was just gonna say, but you can't let a friend become a cancer on your business.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes the business goals and that personal goal or that neighbor goal or whatever things don't align, and John had the situation. I've had the situation, and you have to be able to cut that cancer out of your business too, and that's not easy to do because you're friends.
No, business decisions. I mean, it's the manner in which you handle it, and it's hard. I mean, I've had plenty of friendships and businesses, that have gone sour, and that's just how it goes. I've made up with a lot of people. I've had so many partners in my life. It's crazy, but a majority of them grow. And now, when you try and do all these partnerships, and even if they're friends or if they're businesses, when you get involved with them and you fail, it helps you for the next one. And you learn what the next partner has to look like. It's like anything else is when you're dating somebody, right? You've failed so many failed relationships, and then you finally go, oh, this is exactly what I want. So I think it's part of the process is trying it, but I don't want to be a business partner with someone that's not my friend. It just can't be, and people at work, you got to treat everyone with respect and be friends. So anyway, that's, we can all agree or disagree. So any more before we'll wrap now. I think everybody's getting a little tired.
got any
Any more chats?
There was
Yep. Piranesi?
No, it's the opposite for me. It's the relationships that have helped me scale.
Yeah, they do help you excel. I mean, if there's a relationship that doesn't help you scale, it's of no consequence, right? It's the relationships that help you that you pivot to and run with.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We want to be around people who will push you. What's the old saying? You're the average of the 5 people you hang around, the most.
Yeah.
And if I look at that, I'll take that. I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
So before we sort of get into a wrap here, I'd like to have Phil Fulton come up here. And because he hasn't said anything, I wanted you to first give us your perspective of what happened. You have to come sit next to Steve here. Where's his shirt?
Gotta go get the shirt.
No, he's
you're all
good.
right,
Come
yeah.
on in.
Get him a drink at least.
Oh, no. I'm getting old.
So Mr. Fulton, you've seen what we've done here, and what's your perspective of what of this podcast today?
Well, I think it's very interesting the closeness that you guys exhibit is it shows in the conversation, and
Here, bring that closer.
it's also interesting just to hear of the nuggets that you're trying to convey to the audience. So I think that's always good. I think it's a good first start.
Got it. And do you agree more with Jason or more with Steve?
About what?
Everything.
About what?
Steak
whether to use
seasoned or unseasoned?
seasoning or unseasoned?
We will be arm wrestling later.
Well, I find it interesting that one has salt on the table and the other doesn't.
It's very
One,
telling.
one puts too much garlic on the meat and one doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of things.
So what? I mean, you were here from the very beginning of this podcast, Phil Fulton. Is
Oh,
this
gosh.
where you thought it would go, or do you
I think it's all part of an evolution. I think you're searching for the evolution, and it kind of comes to you as you go through things, right? So that I think is you're exploring it now, is where it should go next. You got some good input from your team here. The one thing, if you're asking me kind of my opinion, I think what might be interesting is the stories of people. What goes on with some of the questions could be deeper.
Uh-huh.
We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really like what was it, and you talked about listening. The one element that I didn't hear, which I think is part of listening, is also being very inquisitive. You can sit there and listen and go nod and go, and yeah, I hear you. But until you can be a little more inquisitive about what's going on in that other person, that's when I think you really start to uncover and maybe even become closer to each other. Anyway.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's interesting. You said that, and I wrote down a couple of things here. I was going to ask them, and we'll do that next time. Maybe this is sort of like a general. And this is how we started the podcast: is sort of general concepts become more specific. And one of the cool things that we talked about is, when things go wrong, that's the most best way to learn and grow and figure things out. And we'll next time, not this time, but we'll ask that question, similar questions. So that's very, very valuable, Phil.
Can I end on my favorite podcast?
Oh yeah, go ahead, please.
So I think my favorite podcast is number one.
Which one?
Number one.
The mine?
Yours.
Why?
We're all entrepreneurs here, right? We all took a chance on a business, and we're all very blessed on succeeding. So when you see someone with a vision and a passion for something, and seeing them drive it, and see what you have done from podcast one to now, I think it's 120.
14.
What is it now?
114 out.
Yeah.
How many are done though, Val? 140 done.
A lot of hours in the studio, buddy.
That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot of work.
A
But
lot
that
of non-billable hours.
that just proves
You didn't get billed for yours?
you got a bill.
that just
Or did
proves
you
what kind of
bill him?
person you are, and the drive and the passion you are in life. And the light bulb moments will continue to come because of the drive that you have given this podcast.
Thank you, Jason. That's awesome.
Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Good
Yeah.
job, Phil Fornaro.
Thank you.
Well, actually, I'll add one thing. When you and I talked about this, I think, if hopefully my recollection is right, this is an outgrowth of your drive of what do you think you do? What does that Joyce say is your
What?
problem solve?
Yeah, I'll problem
Right.
solve. Yeah, 100%.
When you tried to solve a problem I didn't want you to solve.
Oh, favorite story.
Right.
Episode 2. Listen to that one.
So this is actually a natural extension of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So it's not that far reach of what is the core of Phil Fornaro. Is you're trying to figure out how to get people to solve problems, and this is a tool. I think one of the tools in your toolbox that you're trying to offer to people.
Yeah.
So, and I agree, but I would also just say that one of Phil Fornaro's lines is, especially if he wants to help you or something, is I'm going to give you my energy. I want to give this cause my energy, or I want to give whatever the chamber or somebody. I want to give you my energy, and that's like a promise from Phil Fornaro that he's gonna literally give you his energy. He's going to work with you and inspire you to try to make you or your cause or your whatever you have going on a better thing. And you've turned your energy into this light bulb moment. And if you look at the logo and everything else with the energy just spilling out of these light bulbs, that describes you perfectly.
Wow.
Why do you always gotta try to one up me?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
I did one up you with the steaks, and now
We'll say there's a lot of sauce on there trying to hide the meat quality.
So anybody else want to add anything?
It was great.
No, that's good. That's a good way to end. I'm not going to even pull in the light bulb moments because they were so incredible. So just absorb this, Bright community, and we would love your feedback, positive and negative. What's up, Phil Fulton?
I think if I close things, you should ask what's the light bulb moment they got from this session.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
Lord.
See that? All right. Before we close, that's good. Light bulb moment.
Anyone got a light bulb moment? You want
Yeah,
to
what's the light
chat
bulb
it
moment?
online?
What's the light bulb moment you got from participating? John, you mentioned one.
Yeah, for sure. My light bulb, personal light bulb moment from Nick, and about thinking about how I've changed and how I need to take that then to my team.
Jason?
I forget a lot of quality times with friends and the special relationships you have with them. I think that's something that I know we do it a lot. But it's also getting out of that space of, we're always either at the restaurant or at his restaurant or somewhere. I think it's just getting more out and about and building better relationships.
Cool.
My light bulb moment, and if my son's listening, was from Mike and Nick both on the organization end of things and in the way they start their day and how they organize things. That's kind of missing from my life. I'm not gonna lie. I do try to celebrate, even if John said you can't know, you end up with that list still in your pocket, and I try to celebrate even just checking out the little things off the list to get something done off the list. But the organization of your day and the organization for your team, I think, can be game changing into this new concept that we are doing right now. So that's my light bulb moment.
Lots of light bulb moments. I would say the one thing that really stuck with me was what Steve just said at the end about Phil and his energy. And I was just really impressed with the way you do this. And I think you sitting with one person at a time, it would be like, hi, I'm Fraser Crane. You could really get some people to open up because you're inquisitive, you ask good questions, and you have a general positive energy about you. So it was what Steve said at the end that really kind of stuck with me. So I was happy to be here.
Thank you.
For me, it was just re-identifying with how much in your daily business interactions you're really dealing with friends.
Yeah.
And this is my business associate, this is my coworker, this is my colleague. But at the end of the day, we really are all friends and family in everything we're doing. And you kind of take that for granted sometimes. So I think that was my moment. Don't lose connection with that.
Yeah. So my light bulb moment was what a fantastic group of people I got together here today. It's truly unbelievable, and we have our talks, we have our discussions, but never at this level with this many people. And I couldn't have asked for anything more than this. So this is fantastic. I'm looking forward to doing this again. And my light bulb moments came directly related to what you guys recommended for the future of this podcast. And I'm going to study this podcast again and again and write down all the things that you provided to me to make it grow, and we'll grow it together because that's what we're all about.
Maybe you could do that over lunch at your office from the stadium club.
I've got one for you. Take the transcript of the podcast and put it into AI, and let's see what it has to say. That'll be fun for another podcast.
No, that'll be great. I know what's going to dominate it. And next time for the next opening question, so think for next time is, is it wise to get an executive assistant? And the answer is yes.
Unanimous.
So Valerie, thank you for setting this up.
We
She
all
didn't
need
come
her back.
on. We wish you'd come over here, but she refused. But we'll get her on at one point. But she is the heart and soul of this podcast. So we appreciate her.
She did make us promise that we would say this at the end, though.
Yeah. Tell me one more comment. We're gonna say it. So, Break Community, please, if you liked it, didn't like it, whatever it may be, please post. On our social media. We've got our Facebook group. We've got LinkedIn. We've got our website. We've got Apple Podcasts. We've got Spotify and the YouTube. We just want to hear what you think. I mean, this is a new format for you. I think it went well, but maybe there's things for improvement. But we really like to hear what you have to say. So until next time. So you guys ready?
See you next week for another positive day of illuminating thoughts and light bulb moments.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Have a great night.
Steve Palmer led the way.